What's up everybody? So in today's video, it is going to be a ton of fun. I have the key to the Lamborghini Gallardo. Now this is my ultimate childhood dream car. It's not the best car in the world, it's not the most perfect car, but it has been my dream car since I was in 4th grade. And today, huge thank you to Foreign Cars Charlotte. We got the key to it and we're gonna check it out. So this one is the LP550-2 rear-wheel drive Spider model. It does have the e-gear transmission. So we're gonna pull it out, get it to another lot, take a quick look at it inside and out, and then take this thing out on the road and see what it's like to drive the Gallardo. So go ahead, unlock the car, take a look at it. Well, we now have the Gallardo out in the lot. We got it next to the GTR. We're gonna take a quick look at them next to each other because for me, the GTR has always been my dream daily. It came out about a decade ago and for me, it just seemed like a really cool car that you can daily drive. It had the practical aspects with a large trunk, rear seat and stuff like that. And being just a Nissan, you really can daily drive it. 6 months later, I'm still daily driving it. It's no big deal. It really is a normal car. And it's a supercar in performance and yet a normal car as far as daily driving goes. The Gallardo, however, that has always been my dream supercar. I know it's not the best car in the world. The transmission is slightly flawed. It's slightly outdated, obviously, compared to the Huracan and other new supercars. But on the used market, whether you go coupe or Spider, you can get these from 110 to 150 grand with pretty good mileage, around 15,000 miles. So this one's about 140, 150, has really low mileage on it and is a newer model, being a 2012. So let's just take a quick look at what this thing looks like inside. We'll go ahead and put the top down actually just to get some better lighting in it. But you got the really nice diamond stitching along the door panel, a nice little armrest, some storage space, a door handle, leather seating. I love the diamond stitching. I think Lamborghinis look amazing with it. This one has a lot of silver trim, some brushed aluminum in the center, the e-gear with the paddle shifters, but definitely a little bit smaller car, probably very similar to drive like Mike's Audi R8, just a similar configuration. Going into this car, it's just a normal car. It's much differently laid out. A lot more room in here, a lot bigger, obviously. So comment down below, guys, what is your ultimate dream daily drivable supercar? And then what is your ultimate dream supercar? For me, these are the two. These are my favorite dream cars right here. If I won millions and millions of dollars, the first car I would buy is a Lamborghini Gallardo. So with the top down, let's hop in, kind of take a quick look at what this car looks like inside and out. Starts right up, the V10 roars to life. We have the reverse button on the left side, then all your climate control is really similar to the Audi, but really neat how it all works. It's exactly like any Audi, so even the whole navigation system, everything like that is very, very familiar. Pretty much, I think, identical to Mike's R8. Everything looks pretty similar. We have the front end lift button, just pressing that. Front end lifts right up, and actually that's pretty quick. You can see the mirror moving a little bit. And then just pressing it once more, it drops down really quickly. That's really nice. And then this button actually pops up your rear view camera, which is pretty nice for visibility. Mirror controls, Corsa button. That is your full-on sport mode, everything. Your automatic for just normal driving, sport. And then of course you shift with the paddle shifters. Got some temperatures up top. But yeah, pretty simple layout with not too much space in here. Let's go ahead and pop the boot lid. I think we just pull that. So not too much space. It definitely is a little bit tight in here. Not quite as much as a 430 or a 458. You would think though, being the rear wheel drive version, they could do something since there's no drivetrain up front to make this a little bit bigger. Same with the Huracan, but we'll go ahead and close it. So that's it, open as much as it'll go right now. The Spider's not really the one you're gonna have opened up to show off your engine. The engine is covered with where the convertible top is. But still pretty neat how it all opens. The spoiler is active. Wow, that sounds good already. That's so cool. Being the convertible, you have the engine right behind you, so there's just so much noise. We're about to drive it in just a few minutes, so that's gonna be tons of fun, but I've never driven a V10. I've never obviously even driven a Lamborghini. The closest thing I've done is the Ferrari F430 and the 458, but this car has the old school, dramatic, raw supercar experience. So about to take the Gallardo out for a spin. I have my camera bag and lunchbox in here, and that is almost all that's gonna fit in here. So I think the GTR is a little bit better of a daily. You get a little bit of space in here, not the most. It is definitely a little bit smaller than the R8, but not too bad for the configuration. So anyways, Let's drive it.
Well, all right, guys, we are now about to go in my first ever drive in a Lamborghini, my ultimate dream car. So slow speed shifting, you can feel the single clutch. There's a little bit of time. As of now, it actually feels better than the Ferrari F430. So far, I'm liking the E-gear a little bit better. But the visibility is really interesting. You have a really long dash. You don't really see the hood up front at all. But the side visibility out the front is really good because you have the extra windows in front of the mirrors. So overall, it's not too bad. The suspension is definitely pretty tight. I can feel all of the bumps. Did a quick downshift. It rev matched a little bit. Let's come to a turn. That sounds really, really good. Okay, so there's definitely a little bit of the delay. I haven't pinned it yet, so it's not going to kick me in the back just yet. One thing, the shifters are a little bit interesting getting used to because they are so high up. I have kind of missed them a little bit, so that's going to take a little bit getting used to. The brake feels pretty heavy. You kind of have to push the brake a little bit farther. But so far, just kind of slow speed cruising in it, it's actually pretty comfortable. I think the Spider has a little bit less room in it than the Coupe, so I can't exactly put my seat all the way back. That's about as far reclined as I'm gonna go. But not too bad. You can get pretty comfortable in here. I'm 5'11", so not the tallest person out there, but I can still get pretty comfortable in it. Headroom, there's about 2 inches up there, so pretty good. Now, I will say, as far as normal driving, now that we're just in 6th gear going about 50 miles an hour, it's actually a really smooth ride. The only downside, which you can't really call it a downside in a Lamborghini, is it is definitely a stiff suspension. You can feel the bumps, which is expected, but aside from that, it's actually pretty comfortable just to cruise it. You can put this window down, which you can then hear the engine a little bit more. Sounds insane. Just follow that. So yeah, the transmission is not as bad as everybody says. Everyone says E-gear is so incredibly clunky and slow, but honestly, daily driving a GTR, that seems more clunky than this in the slow speeds, to be honest. There's a delay in this one, obviously, compared to my car, but I'm perfectly happy with how this transmission is working. It is so planted in the turns, and this is the Spider, it's not even the Coupe. Those rev matches. That is... So that was on Corsa mode. The transmission is quick enough, it bangs through the gears, it kicks you in the back a little bit, just giving you that drama, and you're in a Lamborghini supercar, you want the drama. Aside from the Ferrari F430, I haven't driven many dual-clutch supercars, and that one's super smooth up through the revs. This one just gives you that little bit extra touch, which I kind of like. I like the drama to it. That's kind of why I like the GTR. It has the drama to it, the clunkiness to it, and I think with this so far, like, I like the transmission. I don't really know what everyone's saying that it's so bad, but definitely I'm liking it. And I will say it is quicker than the F430. The F430 I think had a lot of delay to it and wasn't as violent. This one, a little bit quicker feeling, and I feel like it's just a little bit more solid. Alright, so we are now getting on the highway. That is the coolest thing with the Spider. You can put that down. The roof is pretty low, so it's kind of hard to see the light there, but honestly, guys, I like the Gallardo. This has been my childhood dream car. When I was in 4th grade, I got a model car of one, and driving one is pretty cool. I can definitely see this replacing the GTR in a few years. What do you guys think? You think that'd be a pretty good addition? I think we are about ready to go. All right. It gets up and goes. It's got a nice power band to it. It's a lot different compared to the GTR. The GTR hits you right when you floor it. This one, you got to wring out the engine. It's naturally aspirated, so it's an engine that you have to use the entire power band to. So it's a little bit taking getting used to, but it takes you up there. That sounds really good. aside from the lack of practicality, this is actually a good daily as far as how smooth it drives. And like when Mike bought the R8, I was really impressed with how smooth and quiet it was and just how it's very comfortable. This is the same thing. It's just a really smooth, good ride. I don't think that sound can get old. That is sick. That's stock. That's crazy. Alright, so as we get into town now, I'm going to put it into automatic mode and take it out of sport. That was cool. In automatic and sport, it was pretty aggressive with it. Alright, left visibility is quite poor in the Spider. It's kind of hard to see. Not too bad, but you really got to have your head up here. So anyway, yeah, we're now in automatic. When it was still in sport mode and automatic, it was like the GTR. It was really aggressive. When I hit the brakes, it downshifted twice to get me ready. We're now just basic automatic. In town, we're going to see what it's like there, because that seems to be the biggest complaint with the car, saying the around town is clunky. So we'll see. This is one of the newest Gallardos made, so you would think their most refined E-gear. First to second shift, that was easy, nothing weird. So far, to be quite honest, it feels similar to the GTR. Like right there, I was in second and I let off, and you can feel the weight of the car just kind of on the transmission a little bit. But honestly, it's quieter and smoother than my car, so I don't think the E-gear is as bad as everybody says. The shifting is kind of slow and automatic like that, especially when you are slightly accelerating. You can feel a little delay. The GTR is definitely quicker since it's a dual clutch. It's pretty simple. Just press the button down. All the windows go down. And then we'll leave the windows up just for wind. Visibility is instantly a lot better. I can see exactly where I'm going. Backup camera is a nice touch. Yeah, top down visibility is amazing. Headroom, this is pretty cool. Alright, top down driving now. With the windows like this, we're only going 40 miles an hour, but the wind is really contained. Very bumpy on this stretch, but wind's not bad. You can have a comfortable conversation and just kind of enjoy it. But we're gonna put it back into sport mode and keep it into manual mode just because it's a little bit more fun. I will say, I didn't hate automatic. It's what I kind of expected, but not nearly as bad as what a lot of people said. With the top down, the engine noise. I don't think a V10 soundtrack would ever get old. That is unreal, and that is bone stock in this car. I could not imagine an exhaust or something else on this thing. Alright, not too bad going over train tracks. Oh man, that is incredible. Never heard a V10 Lamborghini. That is insane. That is the best sounding car I've ever driven. That is, oh my goodness. Well guys, that is about wrapping up the first drive ever in my dream car, the Lamborghini Gallardo. This thing, I like it a lot. I'm glad I do. I was a little skeptical about driving the car because what if I hated it? What if the transmission was as horrible as everyone says? I don't know if it's that I'm used to the GTR or not, but I don't mind the transmission at all. It's not the quickest, obviously. It's not the fastest car in the world. I think the GTR feels just a little bit quicker just because the way the power is delivered, but it screams to red line. It'll pretty much go as fast as you need it to go, but this car is awesome. I really like it. The used market, there's a lot of really good ones out there. They're not crazy expensive nowadays. Like I said earlier, 110 to maybe 150 for a good used one. It's not that hard to find. The LP is definitely the one to get. You get the better transmission compared to the original E-gear, but yeah, I like the Gallardo. This thing is sweet. This will be the next car after the GTR. Got a few years for that, of course, but yeah, the Gallardo is a beast.
Well guys, that wraps up driving around in the Lamborghini Gallardo. Once again, massive thank you to Foreign Cars Charlotte for providing this experience for today. It's been my favorite car forever. Driving it around, I like it a lot. This is a cool car. It's fast, it's fun, it's actually pretty comfortable. The V10 sounds insane, and honestly, this is a pretty sweet supercar. So definitely check out Foreign Cars Charlotte website in the description below. Brand new Bentleys, Aston Martins, Maseratis, and Alfa Romeos, and then of course, some amazing high-end used supercars. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Give it a huge thumbs up, smash the subscribe button. See you guys next video.